Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Today, I figured I would do a video on my Halloween or October or spooky season decks that are in my collection. This is probably going to be a pretty long video, no matter what I do. I have tons, and I'm leaving several out. All right, so most of these decks are, I'm gonna say majority of them are mass market. There is some independent ones. I feel most of these are still available and in print from what I can gather. Um, and these decks are decks that I strictly work with pretty much during October. I have a lot, so there's quite a few of them that don't get touched for a couple seasons, for a couple years, I guess I should say. But there's some that I just have for nostalgic purposes that I don't even use, but I have them because there's something that reminds me of my youth or something that I just enjoy, right? And I don't necessarily read with them and use them. So yeah. All right, we're going to get into this. I'm going to start showing you stuff and we're going to stop wasting time talking. These are just in a random order. There's no importance to the way that I'm grabbing them. And this is a mixture of tarot and oracles. And with that being said, I'm going to start with the obvious ones, Seasons of the Witches, right? I'm not entirely sure how long these are going to stay in my collection. They're a little juvenile for me. I try my best to use them and to read with them. This one I've been working with for all of September, doing a daily card pull. I mean, they're beautiful with their colors and their edging and all of that stuff. I think they're gorgeous. I think the ones that I have, I'm going to be keeping, but I do not think I'm going to have the full collection. I don't think I'm going to go on collecting. I think I have 4 at this point. They all tend to be like the fall and winter months. I don't have any spring or summer. The ones that are based in spring and summer, I don't have any of those. And this one this one, the way they've changed it, I like the way these ones read. You can just pull the card, you can read what's going on down here, and it's pretty self-explanatory. You don't really need to get into the book with the newer Seasons of the Witches, and I appreciate that. I do like the artwork. It's very folky. I'm sorry, I'm going to be smashing my stuff all over the place. They're very folky. They're really cute. They are very comforting and cozy. Like I feel like they encompass the season that they're in very well. I'm going to be switching now to the Seasons of the Witch daily pull from the Mabon. And that's the other thing that kind of sucks about them too, is your time is really restricted with them. Like obviously this one you would pull out for September, but then you got to go straight to this one for October, because if you wait till actual Samhain to use this, that's not to the end of the month. And then you're using this spooky date based deck like into November, which is okay. I do use my spooky based decks into November, but I feel like it's just you don't get much time with it. So like I feel like I just started reading with this one and now it's like it's time for it to go and for this one to come in. So I always feel like my time is really reduced and rushed when I use the Seasons of the Witch. Like the guidebook is huge on this one, right? So this was obviously the very first one that was released when this series of decks came out. I love the artwork in this one. I actually I love Tiana's work that exist in the newer ones, but this artwork is so much more dark and gothicy, and I love it. The only thing that sucks with this deck is at the bottom, like the phrase is kind of like a riddle, and sometimes I find myself needing to get into the book. So that's the only thing that sucks about it. But I do love this deck. I love how spooky it is. I like how dark it is. I enjoy this one a lot. So even though I'm leaving this one relatively fast, I feel I'm going into another one that I really enjoy. So as my general practice, my daily pull comes from devoirs of creation. But then I put it aside for these months to use Season of the Witch, and I'll give the devoirs of creation a little bit of a break. But that's like pretty much that's the oracle I use like almost all the time, every day, all year long. It never goes away. So this one will be going out, and I'll be using this one starting today. And I'm going to put Mabon back up on the shelf. So these guys are really obviously restricted to time frames. I mean, you can use them outside of the time frames, but they really, really did a good job encompassing the seasons or what part of the wheel of the year they fall on. They did a fantastic job with that. So I mean, they really give you the vibes and the feels, right? So they're cute. But like I said, I'm not going to continue my collection with them. I'm really quite satisfied with the ones that I have at this point, and I don't feel like I'm going to continue and get the full series, right? Okay, next one is Hocus Pocus. And like I said, most of these decks people own or have seen, so they're going to be probably a little repetitive for some. This is my Insight Editions, sorry, and we all know what that means. I don't use this deck. This is a deck that is for nostalgic reasons only. I I hardly ever have that feeling of pulling it out and working with it. This one, Labyrinth, which is another Insights Editions. Am I saying it right? Is it in? They don't even have their name. Insight Editions. Okay, I am saying it right. These are just ones that I don't know, I don't go to. I have them because I think they're cool. I love the movie, big fan of whatever, right? But I don't read with them. I don't use them. I like flipping through them and looking at them once in a blue moon. Maybe I would like occasionally do a little poll, but it would be more for like a photo opportunity, right? On Instagram or something. But looking at them, they're actually really cute, and I never noticed that they were matte. But yeah, so I just have this one, like I said, because I grew up during the time of that movie, and I really enjoy Hocus Pocus. Zombie Tarot. I kind of use this one whenever. Like honestly, I do. I love this deck, and I haven't used it in such a long time. I think this one is. Oh, it doesn't say. I don't know who makes this one. Like who the publisher is. Oh, it doesn't even say. That's crazy. I never even noticed that. This guidebook is awesome as hell. Kirkland Books. Is that what I said? Kirkland? No, Kirk Books. Sorry, Kirk Books. Not the greatest of cardstock. Everybody knows it. Everyone's seen this deck a million times. I'll use it different times of the year, but if I'm gonna really honestly use it, it's going to be during October. But there are times where I'm like, I need my zombie tarot. The funny thing with the zombie tarot though is if you own it or you have it, you know it's a solid reader. It delivers good messages, and the thing that I like about it is it always has a little bit of sense of humor to it. So it's a nice read. It gives you what you need, it tells you what you need to hear, but at the same time, it has a little bit of humor to it, so it's not so serious, but at the same time it's not a jokester either. Like I really enjoy this deck, and I really like the way that it reads. I love like the way that it looks, how this looks like a box of bullets. You know, this book is fantastic. It looks like one of those old fashioned like magazines you'd find on your grandma's like bookshelves, right? I love it. These cards, the colors, the way they're laid out, like everything's just, it's awesome. It's a great deck. Oh man, I'm gonna now have a really hard time. I had my mind set like what I was reading with this October, and now as I'm doing this, I'm like, maybe I need to revisit this again and pick my decks again because I don't know. I love these decks, and I wish they weren't so restricted to certain times of year. And I guess they don't have to be, right? They totally don't. You can use them whenever you want. Something like Zombie Tarot, you can use whenever. However, they just seem to speak loudly during these times of the year, right? We're close to Halloween. But yeah, no, I Zombie Tarot is like, I love Zombie Tarot so much. All right, next one is the Halloween Tarot. This one is new to me this year. I just bought this. It arrived about a month ago and I put it away. I did one quick little like scan, like one little reading with it and scanned it. And then I put it away and I was like, okay, like once October hits, like I'm bringing this one out. And it's cute. I like it. At first I was like, oh, I don't know if I should even have this deck. Like it's a little juvenile. But then I started thinking about like Halloween when I was a kid and the way that Halloween made me feel as a child. And I don't know. I connected with it and I'm looking forward to using it. I love that you have to find the black cat in like every single one of these pictures. It's such a cute idea. And it's an easy read. It's pretty RW based. Like it's I would say it's pretty much a clone. Like it's super close. So it'll make it a really easy to read for anybody and everybody no matter what level you were at when it comes to, or skill level, I should say, you're at when it comes to reading tarot. And it's so cute. So this one is definitely, because it's new to my collection, I'm going to be using this one this October. This is going by my bedside. I'm going to be reading with it every night. And I look forward to hanging out with this one. The backs are so cute too. I like it. I'm excited. And I want that one by, I should have looked it up. I forget what it's called. It's also called Halloween Tarot or something like that. It's by Sony Graves. US Games is supposed to be releasing it, and for whatever reason, I don't know why, they're waiting till the end of October to release it, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. It should have been the beginning of October, so I don't know why they're doing it like that, but um, that one is on my list to get as well too. Okay, next, I honestly could not include Deviant Moon decks in my Halloween stuff, right? I do have several Deviant Moon decks. I wanted to add them into this. Obviously, they call to me during this time. However, they were kind of obvious and we've all seen them a bunch of times, right? So I have like the old school Deviant Moon, like the traditional, the first one. And then I have, I think it's called the illustrated pips. I don't know. I can't remember what that one is, but I have that one in two colors. I have the rose edition, and then I have the the traditional one, the one that's like normal colored. And then I have Mildred Payne's Oracle of Black Enchantment. I don't know if this is in print anymore. I'm not 100% sure on that. So this deck, I love the artwork. I absolutely love the artwork. The backs are, hold on, they've got all these extra little photos. The the backs are awesome. I love the artwork. I really do. I put it back in order because I was considering selling this one. But I love the artwork so much. The only thing that's hard with this is we have 0 keywords. So we're really restricted, or we're really bound to the book, but it doesn't come with a book. You have to do an online thing. So like I said in previous videos, I don't I put my cell phone down when I'm doing this stuff, and I don't hang out with my cell phone while doing readings. So I have to kind of go out of my way to have a cell phone nearby to use the books on the book on this to pull it up. And I don't know, I think it's kind of obnoxious that way, but I love the artwork. It's so it's funny, but it's creepy at the same time, and I do like it. It's hard to read with. It might just be me, but when I read the meanings that he has on his online book, they're really hard to apply to the situation. And I'm just kind of like, this doesn't really make any sense. So I feel like this is kind of a novelty oracle in a way. I don't get the best readings off of it, but I do really enjoy. Look at this one. He's like flipping the bats off. Like it's funny. It makes me laugh. And I love the artwork. Like I feel like I would blow up some of these pictures and hang them on my walls. Like I think they're so cool. I love it. But this deck is definitely not for everybody. 100%. And this one's super cool. He's made it so they're like dancing. They're two separate cards, right? So this is 31, this is 32. And they're dancing like on the grave. How cool is that, eh? So I mean they're really cool. They're super cool. So I don't think I'm gonna move this on. I honestly think I'm gonna keep it. But it is really neat. And I know like the Samhain edition where it's all orange. That one was available at the time that I purchased this. So like I've had this for a while, and I should have gotten it, but I didn't. But he sends you if you purchase off of him, he sends you a bunch of extra like stickers and cards and stuff like that. And my most favorite picture from this deck was sent to me in the Samhain edition, and I actually have it framed and sitting like off and over into like my little book reading nookie area off to the side here. So yeah, I like it. It is what it is. Next one is the Jack-o'-lantern Tarot. I've had this one for a few years now. I really enjoy it. I read for my clients with this one. I edged it. It's fading really bad because I use it a lot. Like I said, this is my October deck for my clients. It's in order. Because when I put them, I don't do it with every single one, but this one in particular. So when I put this away last year, when I was done reading with it, November 1st, I put it away. I put it back into order because I read for my clients with it, right? So I put it back into order. So everything's back in. I reset it pretty much. And I leave it for the entire year like that until this year. Now I would pull it out, shuffle it, and it would be all fresh again, right? So when I have a deck that I've used a lot with clients, I will reset it because this is just going to sit on the shelf for the rest of the year and it won't come out again until October, right? So like I said, I reset it, put it on the shelf to kind of be reset for the entire year until it comes out again. But this one's really cool. I do like this one, but I'm going to be using the Halloween tarot this year instead of the jack-o'-lantern, I feel. But I have had this one a long time. It is, oh, the full card got caught in all this. Um, I have had it a long time and I use it and I enjoy it and I like its readings. So, yeah. But this year it's going to sit off to the side and not be used. Oh, I didn't show you the backs. Great backs. Like, look how awesome those backs are. With like the owls and the bat up at the top, my thumb's covering. Yeah, they're great. Another deck by Deviant Moon is the Zammer Twins. I I've used this one other times of the year, but I do tend to navigate to it more during this time of the year. They have great backs. I like the size of them. They're like tall and thin. But yeah, this one is definitely more of an October feeling. But like I said, I've used it other times of the year. I really like the color palette in this deck. There's something about it. It's such beautiful, kind of like almost muted, like soft tones. But I do like it. This isn't a heavy user. I haven't used it a whole heck of a lot. And once again, just fantastic artwork. I mean, really, at the end of the day, even if you find this artwork creepy or it's not your taste, it is phenomenal artwork. It looks so good. I love his quirkiness. It makes me laugh. And then once again, this is kind of one of those decks that you're really quite stuck to the book. And I do have the book. It does come with a book. It's down there, but it doesn't fit in the box. So the book kind of just hangs around, and it doesn't get put all in like one neat little tidy package, right? But they're beautiful. I think this is one of my favorite cards. If I can get it to focus in. I know people get weird about it, but like he always has like something farting flames in his decks, and it makes me laugh. It's a nod to medieval art, right? But it's funny. It makes me laugh. Once again, I feel that this deck, it's kind of hard to apply it to everyday situations. I kind of run into that with his oracles, but I still really like them and I still enjoy their quirkiness. So this is my favorite time to pull out my Shadowland tarot, and then I have the Lenormand as well. I think this is one of the only sets that I have a matching Lenormand with. I don't think I have. Oh, this is so hard to get out. Needs a ribbon. Um, I don't think I have any other deck that has a matching Lenormand with it. I know there's ones out there, but in my collection, I think it's the only ones I have. This is a great guidebook. Like, look at how hefty this book is. That's great. And this deck is so cute. I love this deck. I enjoy reading with it. I think it's funny. The artwork is great. The write-ups in the book are awesome. It's so cute. This one I will use outside of October. It's not restricted to October, but I do tend to use it more during the darker day months, right? I don't necessarily go to it in the summer. I start thinking about it in the fall. But I would use this one right through November. I feel like it's not bound to Halloween, but it definitely, has that feeling, right? It's such a cute deck though. Here's the box. Weird cardstock, but like I'm okay with it. But it does have a Halloween feel. So it's like weird little creatures and different things happening in it and bats, and I love this card. If I'm going to pick my favorite Nine of Swords, it's going to be this one. Because it's such a heavy card. And I find like this kind of, I don't know, these spiders make me laugh. Like even though they got creepy faces, they kind of make me chuckle. I don't know why, but they do. But you can see like it is kind of more Halloween based, right? Like you can see that in it. They're monsters, totally straight up. But I do like the way that this one works and the way it reads. Oh, I love this deck. See, like I shouldn't, now I'm like, Well, maybe I'll use the Shadowland instead of the Halloween Tarot, but because I do love the Shadowland. The Shadowland's a great deck. It's so cute. I enjoy it a lot. Okay, and then we have the Lenormand. We'll take a quick little look at this Lenormand, which has a ribbon, but the big one doesn't, which is really strange. The card backs match, but that is more of like a matte cardstock. This is a glossy cardstock. So the cardstock is completely different, which really sucks because if they did it the exact same cardstock as the tarot, that would have been phenomenal, but they didn't. They made it everything the same about it, even the edges, the gilding, the backs, everything. However, like I said, the cardstock is completely different, which kind of sucks. But this one's really it's cool. I like it. I had to get it because I love Shadowland Tarot so much that I was like I need the Lenormand. Like look how cute that is. And yeah, like this one, like I said, I definitely like you can read with it out of different times of the year. However, I really do use it during October. It's so cute. I don't know, I love how she draws her cats. Like they're so cute. But this is a good Lenormand. I like it. It's kind of creepy. Yeah, like look at this mountain card. It looks really cute beside the tarot. Like they look good together. So if you're looking for like a Lenormand to use with a tarot, these ones are really cute together. And once again, good messages. I enjoy what they have to say and the way that they say it. This whole like inside's weird. Like the box is too big and there's a ribbon. So like it's weird. It's like why wouldn't this one have a ribbon? But this one does. I don't know. It's like I don't know which one came first. I don't know if the tarot came first and then the Lenormand. It doesn't say. I'm sure if I opened it up and got into the book and stuff, it would, but it really honestly doesn't matter. This is such a cute set. This is probably one of my favorite sets that I have. I absolutely love it. Different cardstock or not. Okay, and then another one is the Polka. It's a Marseille. Polka? I don't really know how to pronounce it. This one I ended up grabbing on eBay, I believe. I don't know. I can't remember where I got it from. And I've had it for a bit. This is definitely not for everybody. Really cool backs. Like just little tiny skulls. It has a lot to do with, everyone thinks it's intestines, but it's actually like an umbilical cord. So I can see people maybe not being interested in it because it is kind of morbid, right? Um, this deck is kind of cold. I've used it a couple of times. I find it to be, there's a coldness to it, at least to me anyways. And maybe I just need to spend more time with it because I honestly haven't spent a whole bunch of time with it. But I feel like it's kind of, there's a coldness to it, but there's such like some really strong images in it. Once again, it's another deck that's maybe not for everybody. Like it has the umbilical cord, it has like some blood happening, different things like that, right? So it might not be your cup of tea. And I'm trying to decide if it's my cup of tea. And it's not the images that don't work for me, it's the way it reads. It's a little cold. Like I keep saying, there's something about it that's just reads off a little bit for me. And I don't even know if you would say it's mean. I don't know if I'd say it's mean. But there's some like really good images. There's some really cool stuff in this deck. It's definitely not a heavy user in my collection. I do think about it and grab it once in a while. But I've had, like I said, a couple really cold and really bleak readings from it, and it kind of discouraged me from using it, to tell you the truth. So yeah, I don't know how I feel about this one, but it's definitely it's definitely an October deck in my collection. But you could use it whenever. Honestly, it is a very um, it's not restricted to Halloween, right? You could use it any time of the year. Honestly, it does kind of have Christmas colors happening, like these dark jewel tones. But I'm not sure how I feel about this deck. Like I said, it reads pretty cold for me, and I'm not so sure. I there's other decks that I go to before it, right? Like I feel like if I'm in this mood, I would grab the tarot ambiguatories because, and I think I'm saying that right. Um, I like the way it reads. It's not cold. It reads very well. This one's there's a disconnect. So I'm not sure if I just haven't used it enough or I have to get to know it a little bit better. I'm not sure how I feel about this deck. So it's a deck that I have in my collection, but I'm not really sure how long it's going to stay in my collection, and I might eventually move it on because I feel like it's in the same space of the tarot ambiguatories, right? So ambiguities. Sorry, I keep saying that wrong. Tarot ambiguities. I feel like it sits in that same space. So I kind of already have that spot filled in my collection, right? Okay. And then we have the Raven's Prophecy. Okay, I'm going to be honest with this one. I have a really hard time using this deck. There's another disconnect that happens with this deck. And I feel because we've got all this orange happening, it's definitely feels like an October deck, right? But I don't enjoy its readings, and I don't know why. Because I always look at its artwork and I'm like, I love its colors. I love its artwork. There's a lot of hands. I'm not a hand person. But like, look at how sweet that is. I don't know. I have to sit down with this deck. This deck is on my list to actually spend time with. I haven't spent a whole lot of time with it, but I don't know. I get weird readings from it. I need to spend more time with it, honestly. I know I do. But I could see this one possibly being moved on in the future if I don't connect with it. I can see that happening. So, and the card stock's a little shitty. I mean, it's okay, but it's not the greatest. It's your typical Llewellyn um basic card stock, right? I don't know. I like it, but then I don't at the same time. There's something about it. And I feel like if they didn't make it orange, right? It wouldn't have restricted it to feeling uh like an October Halloween deck. I don't think there's any pictures of pumpkins or anything like that in it. It's just a lot of ravens, flowers, hands. Yeah, so I mean like it's not even really a Halloween deck, right? It feels that way because of the orange. Yeah, like there's no pumpkins in here. There's nothing really fall like in the pictures at all. So yeah, I don't know. But that's where this one kind of falls in my collection as I tend to use it during this time of the year. And like I said, I feel it's the orange borders that does it to it. And it probably does that for mostly everybody. And I have seen where people like completely trim it And I do like the way that that looks. You know what? It's really unfortunate with this deck is if they would have just did black borders, and even if they kept this color, but they made it black borders, first of all, it would have made that artwork really pop. And second of all, it wouldn't have restricted it to a certain time frame or have that feeling of that time frame, right? And it would have looked amazing. So I don't know. They should have changed that one a little bit, in my opinion. But I have it. It's in my collection. I'm due to spend time with it. I honestly haven't given it a fair chance. But I've read with it a couple times and I'm just like, I don't know. It didn't click with me the way I thought it was. Or would, sorry. So yeah, I'm unsure about this one. This one and the polka is like, not really sure how long they're going to stay around. But I feel like this one would hang around longer than the polka. I think we're going to be seeing a lot of this deck this year. And this is the Legends of the Sleepy Hollow Tarot. I got this one at the end of spooky season last year, and I didn't even read with it. I didn't do anything with it. We went to a local beautiful metaphysical shop, and they had this was the last one on the shelf, and I grabbed it, and I'm so glad I did. Really straightforward booklet, like not a whole heck of a lot in it, which is fine by me. I mean, I don't really go to the booklet. The cardstock's okay. Who does this one? It doesn't have the publisher on it either. Lawyer? Is that the I've never even heard of that publisher. Yep. Lawyer. Or lawyer. Lawyer? I don't know. No, that's his name. So who the heck published this? Schiffer. Red Feather. Wow, it doesn't say that on anywhere on this box. That is really weird. Well, I guess the symbol's right there. So I guess if you know the symbol. Okay, well. Yeah, I don't know. This one's okay. I love the backs. The backs are fantastic. It's one of those decks though that've got like that natural like it's rocky. Like it's got like a curve to it. So that's kind of annoying. The card stocks, meh. It's alright. This one, like I said, is in order because I have not used it. I bought it at the end of spooky season and it went straight up onto my shelf and it's just been sitting there for a year now. So I haven't even read with it. I probably will read with it just to say that I read with it. However, this is kind of one of those decks that I feel is going to be more like for nostalgic purposes. Like, I mean, I've always loved The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. Like when I was a little girl and the Disney cartoon was like the only one out for like ever. And then the actual movie came out with Johnny Depp quite a few years later. And I've always liked the story of The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. I've always enjoyed it. So to me, this is kind of more of a nostalgic deck. I don't think you can already tell like it clumps. Like look at it's just clumping. So it's not going to be the best at shuffling. This is a little bit more to the traditional storyline, but it's kind of like it's kind of dark and spooky. And I like that. I like its color palette. But the one thing about it is it is an RW clone, right? But it doesn't tell you, like, nowhere does it say wands. And it's weird that they put, like, the Pamela Coleman Smith thing in the corner. Unless that's him trying to replicate it with his name. Oh, it is too. It's an N, L, and then something else. Huh, that's a little weird. I don't know how I feel about that. But you have to know this deck, right? Like, look at, like, if you didn't, like, there's nothing on there saying that it's the Five of Wands. And there's not even 5 wands here. I guess they're considering her staff, but it's literally 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I guess you would count her staff as 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't know. I could see you kind of being like, what the heck card is that, right? I don't know. Like I said, I'm not going to be, it's not going to be a heavy user for me, but it's got some great images in it. Like I love that one. It's good artwork, like it's bold and clean lines and crisp in a way, I guess you would say. But it's definitely an October deck. There's a lot of pumpkins in it, right? Obviously, it's the Headless Horseman. So I don't know. I'll probably read with it just to experience it and to actually read it because it's literally been on my shelf for over a year now. Well, no, sorry, not a great year yet because I bought it at the end of October last year. So it's been here 11 months just sitting on my shelf. So I should definitely read with it, but I can see this one just like I said, more like the Hocus Pocus, where it just kind of hangs out. And I have it to have it, but not necessarily use it a whole heck of a lot. I do think it's going to be a little confusing. Like it's one of those decks that you kind of have to get to know in order to be like, okay, what does that deck mean or what does that card represent? Because it doesn't have any words or titles, right? And the box is cute. I like the decorations on it. I don't know. We'll see. This one, like I said, will just be kind of more nostalgic, I feel. All right. And last but not least is Lucky Seven, the Lucky Seven box with the teeny tiny tarot and then all of its mini devies. I would use this one during different times of year. This is a Dexa that I would use during different times of year. But I do find the teeny tiny tarot to be kind of a little bit more spooky seasoned, in my opinion. And it's cute. I love this card. But it's a cute little deck. I do enjoy reading with it. The Emperor. So cute. No, I do. I love this deck. I haven't used this one in such a long time. It's a great one. I do think this is a good Halloween. First of all, it's very fall color palette, right? Here's the backs. It's cute. So I do use this one more towards like September, October, November, because it does have that fall color palette to me. I do like the way that this one reads too. It's a little pippish, which is nice. And then we have all these, which I find them to all be very Halloween based too, right? Like let's pick this one. This one's ghosts. So this little oracle, that's just like the title card or whatever. But this is definitely the ghost family, the ghost town, the hungry ghost, the Victorian ghost, the friendly ghost. Like they're all a little bit more creepy, right? They're a little bit more um definitely more Halloween, spooky season based. And I think they're so cute. I like the way that she's drawn them. And I like that I can use these without getting into any book. And actually, I don't. No, see, none of them even have books. So yeah, they're quite clear and to the point. It doesn't matter if others don't believe, right? Like it's straightforward. This will pass. The crying ghost. Yeah, I do. I like this little collection. I haven't used it in a really long time. And to tell you the truth, I kind of get overwhelmed when I use it because there's so many options. And it's like what oracle do I use? And I like reading with these ones together because I feel like these ones are all different enough where they work with the teeny tiny tarot. And they're small, so you can use them all and mix them up. But yeah, so you've got omens, curiosities, dreams, ghosts, messages, and opposites. And I do really like this little collection. And like I said, they're not, obviously, they're not limited to just Halloween. You can use them any time of year. But I feel like, I don't know, they kind of work best during the fall because they're spooky seasoned, right? They're spooky season flavored. So there is kind of my Halloween based collection, or like the decks that I tend to use during October, right? And there is a few more. Like I said, there is a couple that I left out because I don't completely restrict them to October. These are like the ones that are really quite spooky seasoned for me. But yeah, but I'm going to, just because I'm going to start out, and like I said, I'm going to start reading with this one for now the month. Let's pull a card for October. Pumpkin. Okay, and I'll read, uncaging the spirit within thou, the fertile power you hold. To taste your buttery velvet upon tongue is a gift I shall cherish each day that comes. See, like, I feel like I gotta use my brain too much. I wish it was just a little bit more straightforward. Let's see the gist of it. That's 30, right? All right, so our keywords: protection, fertility, and prosperity. Hmm. See, I wish they just put the keywords. It would have been freaking fantastic. So yeah, that's for October for us as pumpkin. All right, well, here's to hoping. Prosperity, down with that. All right, well, thanks for watching. I hope you guys have a fantastic spooky season. And I hope you guys have a lot of fun decks to work with and different things to do. And you're sitting like me trying to figure out what you're going to be working with for October because you love them all. And you're like, I don't know who I'm going to work with and who I'm not. But definitely, definitely the Halloween Tarot for me. This is going to be my daily polar because I need to figure out where the seasons of which, if I'm going to keep them or if I'm going to move them on. And ugh, I love the Shadowlands so much. But I'm also feeling the Teeny Tiny Tarot and the Devies, and as well as the Raven Prophecy is due to be worked with as well. I have not given it a fair chance, to be honest. So I have a lot to figuring out to do. And who knows, I might use one for each week and then switch it out. But we'll see. Maybe that's what I'll end up doing. All right, so you guys take care. Thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed already, give me a subscribe, thumbs up, positive comments, all that awesome stuff. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks and enjoy this spooky season.